your spreadsheets. We're going to break up in the same groups we were in last week. Okay, I want to show you something. So this is week 13, right? We did all this kind of stuff here. So again, you had to do the matchups. You took all the teams, their average over the seasons for both defense, offense, the median, and the weighted average. Okay, and then we calculated these. These are our predictions based on these three columns. And then column H was basically we just took the average of all our different guesses. Here's the thing is you don't have to do this every time, right? Here's what I'm going to do is I can basically take, after the last column that we put in, I'm going to select column E. I'm going to go all the way, we'll go to K. I'm going to hit Control C. Then we're on week 15, right? Yep. I'm going to put it, so these are the values that I calculated. I'm going, let me unhide this. I'm going to put it right after the column and I'm going to go paste, but what am I going to paste?
Formulas?
Yeah, perfect. Or actually, you know what? The formulas are already there. Let's just see if I do Control V if it does it.
Oh yeah, it did it.
It did, didn't it? Yep, B4. If you look here, it's taking the average of B4 and B5. B4, B5, yep. So that's the St. Louis score, the average of these two. If I want to get rid of all that, remember I put the formatting in. We kind of highlighted or put in red the ones that we thought were going to win. So basically you can go to your paint can, hit no fill, kind of start that over. So here's what we're going to do is you're going to do this for week 15. I want you to figure all this stuff out. But here's another thing. If you are done with this, number one, help the other people in your team finish. Okay? Number two, if you have finished and your team's good to go, here's what I want to do is what we're going to do is when you come back from break, we are going to basically analyze to see which of these scores gave us the best results over those 3 weeks that we looked at. Okay? So right now, if we go back to week 13, remember we looked at, what did we look at as far as trying to figure out which method was best? What do we do down here?
Oh, we checked which ones were accurate to our predictions and which ones weren't.
Yep. So we did that. Keep doing that. So you'll have to do that for week 14. Now over here, what we're doing is we're actually seeing how close we were to the score, right? Okay, we only did this for the average one. Here's what you can do. We want to do this for this column, and this column. So what I can do is I'm going to drag this function 3 more. Okay? What this is doing is it's basically taking whatever formula I have here and it transforms it to the next column, or basically applies it to it. Here's the problem though, is here's our actual score, right? I3. Once I drag it, it's doing the right column here, F, but it's taking J3. Do you see how when you drag it, it just kind of moves the cells to the next column?
Yeah.
So here's what you can do is just go I. And then remember, don't hit any, you'll have to put it at the end, hit return. Turn the K into an I, return. Hit return. Oop, did I do that right? L3. Oh wait, I put the wrong one. Wait a minute. J. Wait, H. Yeah, no, I. Here we go. So again, remember, then you can drag this down, you can paste it. Remember, I could take this, I can Control C, I can paste it here. This is the shortcut. Formulas. I hope I did that right. I5. Yep. Minus F5. Yep. Perfect. And then I could take this, I could paste this all the way down. So I want you to do that for basically how close we were to the score. What's another metric we can measure to determine how accurate our guesses were?
You should average those.
So how else can we determine how well these metrics worked? Is that what we can do is we've got whether it predicted the winners or losers, right? We've got how close we were to each team's score. What's another thing people look at in football games? So we made it to the two individual teams. Think betting. What do people bet on?
Money. Players.
Well, no, people don't bet on money.
Accuracy.
Actually, they kind of do. What?
Accuracy.
Accuracy? Well, how are we going to define accuracy?
The t-test.
Not yet.
The catch.
So let's see. You can bet on how much a team wins by, right?
Yeah.
You also have. Has anybody heard of an over and under?
A what?
Over under.
No.
No? Oh my gosh. Here I am. I'm teaching you betting. Again, I stress. I'm not teaching. I do not encourage betting. This is strictly a mathematical exercise. So,
Yep.
Over and under is you basically bet on this combined score of both teams.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So if the over and under for say Denver versus Pittsburgh is 40, and you think both teams' combined score is going to be more than that, you can bet on the over. If it's over that score, then you win that bet. But for us, we're just using this strictly to see how close we were. So what you can do is, what I would recommend is we got these here. Now I want you to make another column, and then you're just basically going to say actual combined maybe, or total. Total versus predicted total. And then here, basically what we're going to do is you're going to have to add what your predicted or what the actual was, right? So here I can put equals, stupid ginger ale. So I go, here's an actual score. So it's this I3 plus I5. Now here's the deal is what we want to do is now we want to put parentheses around it. Because we want them to add that. Now we're going to take our predicted. So minus, add another parenthesis. Let's do it for the average first. So it'll be this one, E3 plus E5. And return. We're only like 5 points off the total score. That isn't bad. It actually really isn't. So, but let's do that. So for each one of these, when you're actually doing the totals, you're only going to have one value, right? For each matchup. But again, I want you to do that for each column. How far we were away when we use the averages to predict the scores? How far are we away when we use the medians? How far away will we use the weighted average? And then wisdom of crowds. I'm kind of excited to see what this does, because if it shows that the weighted averages doesn't really matter, then I'm going to throw that out of my algorithm. And that's another thing too, is what you have to do is you have to assess it, right? We build these models, people use models over and over, and they don't really, even if it worked once in the past, it might not work now. Things might change. So you just have to keep assessing these models. How accurately am I doing this? And not only that, but is there different values that I could use to make my predictions more accurate? This is what this is about. Okay, so I'm going to let you work on this for the rest of the period. Again, please send me songs. You're going to have to listen to all my old punk, I'm telling you. Send me via email then. Your email works now, I know that. All right. All right, I'll throw in, I've actually made some new music, so